This is like Christmas 2. I've had a few days to really process everything, to really let everything settle in and kind of like calm down a little bit and kind of relax. Because the thing is, I knew that if I recorded this like in the immediate aftermath, like right after the direct, it would just be a whole lot of nothing, Like at least at this point, I can try to find some form of direction. I knew that if I recorded it like on Wednesday, it would just be a lot of screaming and unexplainable noises. But at this point, we can bring direction to that screaming unexplainable noises because Deltarune is real, and it's something that I keep rewatching the trailer. I keep going back to it, and like every single time I'm like I calm down for a second and then I go back to the trailer and then I rewatch it and then like it feels just as unbelievable as the first time. Quickly, I feel like we got to give a shout out to Toby Fox, who's had one of the most insane industry runs of like any indie dev in like the past few years. Obviously, going back to when was that, like 2019, whatever. Sans and Smash, incredible. He went to Sakurai's house. He beat him in Smash, whatever. They hung out in his car. That's kind of crazy. We did not know that was just the beginning, because Toby Fox then goes on to compose for mainline Pokemon. That's crazy. Like last year, he like hosted the Tokyo Game Show Developer Awards alongside like Yoko Taro, Hideki Kamiya, Sakurai again, and like a bunch of other industry people. That's crazy. He met with Yoko Shimomura. That's insane. And now this, a headlining third-party title in the Nintendo Switch 2 unveiling. That is so insane. This guy was held to the same standard as like Elden Ring and Street Fighter 6 and Final Fantasy 7. Toby Fox. This guy's kind of next level at this point, but okay. When that first came out, when that dog first walked on screen, man, I didn't even process, because that's the thing. There were so many people, and I was one of them. There were so many people, especially after the previous direct. People got so hyped up for the previous Nintendo Switch direct. Oh, will Deltarune be here? Yeah, every time there's really any sort of presentation, it's like, ooh, is Deltarune gonna finally show up? It's like a Silk Song level thing. I mean, not quite to that extent, because we knew that it existed this year. But it's like, will Deltarune be here? Will it not be here? We do that whole rigmarole every single time. And this particular time, I was like, okay, at this point, I don't think it's gonna be there. Most of the Deltarune announcements that we've gotten have been through Toby Fox's own means. They were like through Deltarune's Twitter or newsletters or whatever. And when there was time for a Switch port or something, then it would be in a direct. But I was like, okay, the initial announcement of Deltarune 3 and 4, or sorry, Deltarune 1 to 4, as it's important to clarify. I was like, the initial announcement for that's probably gonna be just like Toby doing his own thing. Maybe Gaster comes back to Twitter, decides to do a little bit of a thing there. I did not think it was going to be in the direct, which is what made it so mind-blowing to see that dog just walk on screen like he owns the place, like he's just fitting in right here. And it's kind of been insane to see that this has been one of the like defining reveals of the Switch 2 direct, because it's the Switch 2 direct, Like, it's the Switch 2. The biggest thing is, one, first-party games, obviously, Mario Kart, Kirby, Donkey Kong. The second thing is just like, what's the main thing that people have been excited for on the Switch 2, aside from first-party games like being better and more ambitious and visually spectacular? It's being able to run the games that the Switch never could, So to come out here with Deltarune, which the Switch can and will absolutely run perfectly fine, and have that be one of the big Switch 2 reveals, and not only that, forgot to mention, launch day? That's a launch day title, that's so crazy. Toby Fox Switch 2 dev kit, like early. This guy's crazy. But anyways, okay. I feel like we should actually talk about like the content of what's coming, because Deltarune 1 to 4, this is crazy to me. $25 first thing. That's insane. In all of the chaos of the Switch 2 pricing and everything that comes along with that, to have Toby Fox come out and be like, hey, we're selling Deltarune for $25. So, a little more for me, but whatever. $25. And on top of that, all future chapters are free updates to that. That's the thing. I presumed that Deltarune was going to be priced around what it is priced, you know? I thought it was going to be maybe $20, but even if it was $20, I assumed that every future chapter would come with a charge of $5 to $10 each. So it would be $20 for 1 to 4. That then establishes like a $5 per chapter status. So going forward, Toby can be like, hey, we're launching chapter 5 in 2026 or whatever. That's going to be $5. And then we're launching chapter 6 and 7 in 2028, whatever it ends up being. That's going to be $10, you know? But it's just one charge, $25 once, and it gets you the entire thing. This is like a Shovel Knight treasure trove level investment, you know, buying Shovel Knight on day one, and then you just get all of that stuff for free. I mean, it's not free, you know, like you're paying for it, but still, like the amount of value that you're getting. Mind you, we already got 2 chapters of Deltarune for free, like just free demos. And those 2 chapters in and of themselves are almost the size of Undertale. We are getting so much stuff. Another thing that Toby said is that the Deltarune soundtrack, like the Deltarune 1 to 4 soundtrack, is gonna have over 150 songs. I've been saying this. One of the things that people have not been getting excited enough about is the fact that we are getting so much new Toby Fox music in the next 2 months. We are getting so much. Deltarune 1 and 2 together have about I think 85 tracks, right? So we're basically doubling that. Like we are entering a whole new age of Toby Fox now. Like think about the amount of Deltarune songs that are already legendary, bro. Field of Hopes and Dreams, A Cyber's World, Big Shot, Chaos King, you know, Attack of the Killer Queen. We are getting so much, and we're getting them together, man. 3 and 4. Okay. I feel like I've gone this long and I haven't even talked about like the trailer itself, really. I'm just very overwhelmed. First thing I gotta mention, bro, the piano sketch main theme. Back in the 6 Undertale anniversary, we're playing Deltarune for some reason stream from Fangamer. Toby Fox unveiled a bunch of unused or yet to be used Deltarune songs, right? And one of them was a piano sketch main theme that he composed, that he envisioned being paired with like this beautiful animation where the fun gang is like going up these stairs and facing off against the knight or whatever, and it's all epic and like amazing. And we're getting that. We got the fully done piano sketch main theme. Like it's not just a sketch anymore. It's like a fully executed track. And then at the end, we see the glimpse of that animation done by Tebby where the fun gang is just like about to square off. I couldn't ask for anything more. Oh wait, I could, because we got new gameplay. Here's the thing, I didn't even know how much they were gonna show, right? Like at first I thought it was just gonna be like, I thought we were just gonna see a lot of the 1 and 2 stuff when they let off with that. I didn't realize how much 3 and 4 there was gonna be. We got like, I'm scrolling through the trailer again on my phone while I'm doing this. We got footage of like the shadow boys or whatever. That's not what they're called. I forget what they're actually called. But we got footage of that knocking their socks off, as we know. We got footage of, Toby talked about this in the newsletter, of the Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive mode with the mouse con, where like I don't even know what's going on looking at it, because like that's the thing, it's a launch day Switch 2 thing. Like Deltarune 1 to 4, I pronounced that weird. Deltarune 1 to 4 is always gonna be like historically associated with the Switch 2 launch, which is so cool. Mind you, I'm still gonna be playing it on PC because I really care about like the meta elements that playing it on PC allows for. Like for example, like when you play Undertale on PC and you get to Omega Flowey, he can actually like crash your game, and like they're not really allowed to do that on consoles. So I'll be playing it on PC for things like that, you know, just to see what goes down. I'm sure I'll be playing it on the Switch 2 I'll happily pay for both. I'm sure I'll be playing it on the Switch 2 version shortly after and get to experience that exclusive Switch 2. I don't even know what I'm looking at, really. They're like blocking attack. It's like kind of like the green soul thing, but like not really. It's pink and yellow, and you're like using the mouse con to block these like individual particles. I don't even know what's happening. It looks sick. It looks like it could be some sort of music thing. Speaking of, we then transition into like a whole rhythm. And here's the thing. This is what this is so unfocused. Chapter 4. What am I saying? Chapter 2 established like that whole like variety thing, which is why chapter 2 is so much better than chapter 1. It really just leaned into the variety. You could tell that Toby Fox had the help of like a lot of other people. It's still entirely his vision, of course, but like it just felt like they were able to do so much more. The gameplay loop was so much more satisfying because there was so much more that you could do. Combat was better than ever. And on top of that, you had all of these little things. You had like the punch out mode, you know, which came back for the final boss. You had like the mouse puzzle mini games and stuff. Oh, incredible game, right? Now looking at it, it looks like we're getting even more variety. And that's the awesome thing, because we knew about chapter 3 that chapter 3 was going to be like this weird, like not even divisive, but like this weird just like trying new things. Like Toby specifically referred to it as like an unconventional chapter, right? So I imagine that like design wise there's just going to be a lot of different things going on. So you're getting things like this rhythm game, or like you know, where potentially that Switch 2 mode will take place, and you're getting all these random, you know, we're probably getting the cowboy section too, as we know. And that's what makes 3 and 4 as a pack so exciting, because then chapter 4, this is our first time seeing it in action, really, aside from just like screenshots from newsletters, and it looks, man, it is like the perfect pair of chapters to release together, because you got chapter 3 as this like goofy little reprieve, like this little break between chapters, you know. It's like the fun chapter with Tenna and Mike and whatever other shenanigans are gonna go down, all these little TV goofy moments, right? And then you got chapter 4, which is now basically confirmed, essentially, to be the church chapter, as we predicted and as I predicted, you know. Yeah, when I get my date predictions wrong, I have to take anything I can get. I've been a chapter 4 church believer for the longest, so that feels good. Looking at chapter 4, it's just like, it's so weird. It's like dark and dreary. Susie and Chris are like different colors. They're like running away from this dark mass that's like coming at them, and it's aesthetically, it's just like it feels so serious, you know? It's like, it's like it looks so good. And then like even prior to that, before we get the whole, when we get the build up, bro, as the music builds up and we get chapter 1 is waiting, 2 is waiting, 3 is waiting. We see Tenna laughing with the 3 is waiting thing, and then with chapter 4, it's just like them running away from the chaos. And then, like I said, the animation, bro. Deltarune is waiting. Bro, I am waiting. I am waiting. Here's the thing. I'm gonna buy my Switch 2 on June 5th, unfortunately, because like I kind of have to. You know, assuming I can get my hands on it. That's gonna be a fun day financially, but I'm gonna do that, and then, you know, probably gonna run around with Mario Kart, and then I'm just instantly gonna hop on my computer to play Deltarune. Like, it's I don't even know if that's Switch 2 day for me anymore. That's Deltarune day. Here's the thing, right? I went into this year for this channel, I was like, you know, there are 2 big things happening this year for this channel. Switch 2 launch, obviously that's the big one, you know, I'm Protendo, you know, that's kind of my thing. And then on top of that, we've got Deltarune. And I was kind of wondering how those things were going to even out. I was like, which one are we going to get first? How are they going to interact with each other with my coverage, you know, like what's gonna go over top of what? They're just intertwined. The hype is intertwined. Everything is together. We are together. We are every man. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, bro. Deltarune tomorrow or in 2 months, whatever the case, who cares? I do. We win. We win.